All right, let's bring you the story now. Employees of Northwest Transport Investment have spent the festive season camping outside the provincial legislature, having gone months without any pay. The Transport Management Department removed the Business Rescue Practitioner at the parastatal in December, but that decision has been appealed. In their desperation, employees have been asking for donations from road users in Mahikeng. Watching developments for us is SABC News reporter Tebogo, Phakedi, who joins us now live inside one of those buses. Tebogo, I see, and perhaps you can help us get a sense of how we got here as we try to understand the demands from employees.
Good morning, Ayanda, and of course to the viewers. Yes, just to give a background, you would remember that the Northwest Department of Transport appointed the Business Rescue Practitioner in July 2022. The aim was to rescue the Northwest Transport Investment, from its current situation, if even one can say. Employees were not getting paid. They were sometimes you'd hear some of the employees even saying our buses do not even have diesel to ferry different, transport users or our bus users to their destinations. They were going months without getting their salaries. Hence, the Business Rescue Practitioner was then appointed, voluntary business rescue. Now, going forward, Ayanda, we then saw some sort of disagreement between the department and the practitioner as far as the funds, where the funds were going. We saw the Business Rescue Practitioner also summoned to Scopa here in the province. The concern being that money is being paid into his account instead of that of the entities. Even that is the case, he is also not paying the employees what is due to them. They complained about how they even lost their benefits as far as medical aid is concerned, among other things. They've been coming to the Northwest Province legislature several times. In actual fact, in 2024, they came about for 4 times. If one can say, we've covered a story of how now and then they would march to the legislature, and now the status quo at this point, they are stationed here at the legislature, spent their Christmas here, their New Year here, and of course we've been experiencing some rain here in Mahikeng. Of course, they braved that pelting rain just so they can get their salaries. I just want to measure the impact as far as these employees are concerned. So we will talk to one of the employees, that is Lucky Rampekwa. Thank you so much for your time. You've been here since the 18th of December. How has it been like? And as employees saying you have not been getting your salaries for the past 6 months, how has that affected you?
It affected too much. And then I choose because of Rarata, because of scope of budget adjustment. They are 75 million. Then by promise they will pay us after the verifications and all those things. So there are many steps to what is about woods and so on. But after that, abar patel. Then come limbuima. Imagine I get 9 months to 6 months holy, and then kamo geweragagelwane musadi aberege banaba ya skolong. Some of us banarban see the good private school because of Navabago. Then that's the experience that we have. So yeah, push our we have to retlemortolo la chelete ewe longor bapala go inside longoring. It's legally bitolo lababereki. So for now I feel like it's unfair. So we've been here and it was painful because we wanted money. I can't go home mo longoring. Ke bona hore ho buima mosadi o batla dijo bana ba batla dijo ba batla diaparo tsa Christmas day. So we were hoping hore ba tla ba le mosa le mohau ba le sympathy to us, then ba re patela chelete eo, then we go home ra ya ra prepare ba family tsa rona. Right now we just hope hore ba ka refa in order because of re ya go January dikolo di abulo bana tshwanetse ba dikolong ba grade uniform. Some of us bana ba rena ba change dikolo to high school ba nyaka new uniform, so we don't have money, so they have to refer and then hire with peace. We are not here for the politiki and the longer ba di bolela outside, so re nyaka only that money the longer ba allocated for workers. Thank you.
And you are painting that picture, how difficult it has been for you. You were expecting to get paid by December, as government was saying, we are taking the Business Rescue Practitioner to court. And of course, the court did grant, to say he can be removed. But now the judgment is being appealed, meaning that there's a delay. You are not even getting paid now until that has been sorted. How have you been, like you are painting a picture of how has this affected you, but months to months not getting paid, how have you been surviving?
We are surviving kadi donations. We are asking money, even now when we are here, we kopela the donation, and then I check is it expired or what? Some of but we have to really choose and then eat so that we can survive. So that legislature then so that those people they can pay us really high. So if you can imagine what family
Ayanda, you know, we are inside this bus. It's one of the 8 buses that are here. And I just want my colleague Tumelos Tabis to just pan outside this bus so you can just see on daily basis, you know, they will cook for themselves, you know, ask for donations from the road users, cook so just they can survive while they've been here for several days now. And the concern that they are also raising, as he's saying there, that they had to even change schools as far as their children are concerned. They were not able to afford their families the Christmas they wanted or welcoming the 2025 however they wanted, because they are here camping, demanding that they get paid. As far as the disagreements between the department and the business rescue practitioner, they are saying, can that be solved just so they are paid? We know that there is a 75 million rand allocation budgeted for their salaries, we are told, but given that there is a delay now, we just want to hear from one of their leaders. Thank you so much for your time. Government until business rescue practitioner meaning the delays as sau maikutlo a lona ke eng ka ga se ya ka sau ya bashum
rena ntwarena e simple ore politike ba irang a re teng moyo se salanga patediwa ba bereki o molomong ba bereki mona ba khono khotsofala hobane as we stand now ba bereki mona a ba emeka one voice ore a ba ye hae till chelete ya bona e tsena mo di accountong tsa bona ba tloa ba boele go hae.
Thank you so much. He is saying they are not going home until they get their salaries. That is Sipho Nkosi, one of the workers' representatives, Ayanda, still stationed outside the legislature demanding their salaries, their back pay, saying this has been unfair to them. They've been, you know, providing services to the transport users in parts of Rustenburg, Gauteng, and those going to Mpumalanga, yet they are not getting paid. At home, they are wondering, why have you been going to work, given that there is no money at this point? Ayanda, for now, back to you in studio.
And if you're able to still hear me, Tebogo, before I let you go, I wonder if you can help us understand the impact this has had on commuters who would rely on this kind of service to get around.
Most definitely, Ayanda, some of them have been affected. In actual fact, to get a clear picture, let me ask again the workers' representative in terms of Baba Dirisan transport air device, the eastern parts of Rustenburg, Babanko Gauteng, Baba Liba Isang Mpumalanga, abonense ba mega when it comes to service provision air transport.
Yeah, yona impact is serious mo amobana medi, especially amaskral mabopane ho ya tropo hobane le bona ba no on Monday ba bantshi ba bula go a go ntonyela ba ilo affect ka serious, but now we are appealing go sonakile ese chairperson ya scope kena motho na leng matla wa botsa mona a hanske kana hore anske kana a tloele dilo tsa bona tsa politiki tsa haile bo BRP rena a re tsene mo ha patele fela mona a ba bereki.
And I know when you arrived here on the 18th of December, it was about 300 of you. Some had to go home due to ill health, some were admitted. If I can just ask, as far as the 8 buses that are here, how many buses do you use to operate? Do you still have drivers that can perhaps fare some of the transport users come next week?
Hona ba no ore eketlo botsa nnete. Operation it's just the contract buses the operating tseneng via Gauteng a fatenda engwe di contractors, but NTI as a whole operation EM
Thank you so much. The operation has halted as far as the NTI buses are concerned. Ayanda, here is not just the bus drivers, it's the security personnel that is here, you know, those that are doing general work at the NTI. All of them, you know, here demanding their payments. They are saying as many people will be going back to work and learners also preparing for school, no bus will be ferrying them to their destination, given that they will be stationed here until they get their payments. He is referring to Hans Kekana, who is the head of the Department of Transport here in the Northwest Province. Of course, government has made it clear that they will not transfer the 75 million rand to the Business Rescue Practitioner. But of course, as this is a developing story, given that he is also appealing the judgment, we will be getting more from the department. Ayanda.
Gosh, a multiplicity of issues all converging there. Tebogo Phakedi, thanks for helping us understand the story a bit better. Tebogo is our reporter live to us there from Mabatu in the Northwest.